Hello there. Welcome to episode 8 from series 2 of the How Uncivilized Podcast. On today's episode, we carry on our merry adventure, looking at Chirrut Îmwe and Baze Malbus. Watch out for some soundboard trickery. Enjoy. Well, anyway, Charlie.
Am I far when ready?
Come on, mate. Come on.
Oh, God. Okay. Right, okay. I will crack on with your questions for
brilliant.
me.
Here we go.
Oh, God. This is going to be so underwhelming because I don't have a soundboard. Like, what's even the point of me doing any of this?
You could get a soundboard while we're on air. You know, you could easily just whip it up.
No, like it wouldn't be the same. I need to get like something better than that. I need to pay Harrison Ford to sit next to me and complain. That would be great.
What?
What even is that? That's not a quote. That's not a memorable thing.
That's just Vader saying what?
That's like I couldn't even tell that was Darth Vader. Like, what is the point of that? That's not a famous quote. That's not a soundboard thing to have. Like, my gosh. And it doesn't have, you know, are you kidding me? I'm blind. Or how
Yeah,
rude.
I know. Those
Like,
are the essentials.
But it has Darth Vader just mundanely saying, "What?"
Yeah, it does. Oh,
man.
damn. Well,
if you're asking what, I'll tell you for what, because you've given me.
yeah, go on.
You've given me 6 questions about Chirrut and Baze. I've split these questions into Chirrut questions and Baze questions. Just
lovely.
Kind of sort them out a bit. And the first one, though, has a bit of overlap. Thankfully, I don't need to go into too many details because you've been so thorough with your presentation of all the facts and all the tidbits. But I'll try not to overlap too much, but I will mention things you've already mentioned just to be like, remember this happened. Yeah. Your first question was, Chirrut Îmwe, why are him and Baze Malbus still on the planet if the Kyber is gone / going? The simple answer to this is that the Kyber on Jeddah, which the Empire were harvesting for the use of creating the Death Star, even though that was gone and the temple had been taken over by the Imperial forces, the fact was they're still natives to the Jeddah planet, so it's not like they were there from elsewhere. This was their home world, and the thing is, when it's your home world, you kind of stand by it even when things have fallen to shit.
I suppose you have to.
Yes. And if you think about it, the only reason why they actually left the planet was because they were following Jinn, and Jeddah City was actually destroyed, so there was no way for them to really go back to their home planet. It's the classic Luke scenario of, well, there's nothing for me here. I may as well continue on with my journey. May as well
bounce and die within the next sort of, I don't know. How long is it between that and then them dying? It can't be that long. It feels really quick. Like maybe a day or something.
It's definitely a quick period of time. Maybe a day, maybe 2 days, because it's literally, they go from there, I believe they get to Edu, and then from Edu they go back to Yavin 4, And then from there, they go straight to Scarif. So it's really not a long period of time at all between them joining up with the team and then them ending up on Scarif and eventually dying there. That's what I always think about Rogue One, is everything feels very rushed and hectic, but that's not a criticism. That's kind of it. That was just the frantic nature of the film. Was these people desperately trying to get this job done, get the information they had it to a certain place, tell people about it, get this
Keeps you
mission
hooked.
going, and you felt that frantic nature of the film from start to finish. And it's a very tense film when you think about it, for what's happening, what's going on. It's quite a thrill ride from start to finish.
It really is. It sucks you in, and it's just incredible. Like you say, the fast-paced nature of the film is just something just to really enjoy.
Yeah, because that's the thing of people say that, in Rogue One, you don't really get to know the characters that well. But for me, that's kind of the point, if that makes sense. Like, I know that is not necessarily the best support of, the characters seemed a bit thin, but it's like, it's because they didn't have time to be developed, because it was literally, you have to trust these people, because who else are you going to trust, even when you know nothing about them, really? You just have to trust in the people around you.
A leap of faith.
And the mission that you have in hand. Yeah. Good. Nice. A leap of faith. I like that.
But you got to have faith.
It's very George Michael, very Indiana Jones. So, pretty simple answer to that first question. Why are they still on that planet if the Kyber's gone? It's because they live there. That's where they're from. And I feel like we'll explore this more a bit later with another one of your questions. But this is why they stay, is because they feel like even though the Empire's in control, they can probably still do good whilst they're on Jeddah and whilst still on the planet.
Yeah, well, at least Chirrut does.
Yes. Baze just kind of moans.
Yeah. But they're still best
grumpy.
friends, aren't they? So
yeah. What an odd couple we are.
It works.
Yeah, it's a good dynamic. We enjoy seeing the two of them on screen
We
together.
most certainly do. May it live on forever. Oh, wait, no.
Still too soon.
I know,
still
4 years
stings a
on
bit.
and it still feels really depressing.
4 years on, and I still lie awake at night thinking, they're all dead now.
I know. Oh, man. It's just so sad, really.
It's very sad. Yahoo! And with that, we move on to your next question.
Let's do it.
So you've asked, is what Chirrut says some kind of scripture? And so with this, I believe you are referring to Chirrut's kind of catchphrase of, I am one with the Force and the Force is with me. Do you have that? Do you have that on the soundboard? Please tell me you have that.
Well, let me just have a little look-see upon that soundboard.
The Force is with me, and I am with the Force.
That's
kind of
close
there.
enough. That's almost it.
We're getting 50% of the correct quotes here.
Yeah. So you've asked, is this some kind of Jedi scripture? And in a sense, the answer is yes and no. So it's not necessarily Jedi scripture, even though it's all to do with things Jedi believes in about being one with the Force is with you always, all that good stuff. But it's actually links in with the Guardians scripture, the Guardians of the Will scripture that we talked about. And so it's all part of that. It's all part of what they believe, because like you say, although they themselves are not necessarily Force users, they believe in the Force, and they believe that they can rely on the Force to guide them and to get them where they need to be. And so that's why they say, as a movement, I am one with the Force and the Force is with me. And that's kind of when Baze starts to say it at the end of the film, when he goes off and shoots all those death troopers, and it's sad and great, and I love it.
Yeah. Poignant.
Yes, it's not only him doing it as a remembrance of Chirrut, it's him embracing everything Chirrut believed in, believing in the Force, and kind of becoming a guardian again in that moment. It's him remembering his scripture and remembering who he was in his final moments before he passes away.
And then obviously he says it, and that's just brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah, brings a solitary tear to my eye, which I wipe away in in a manly moment of softness.
Are you soft, Charlie?
I'm made of very soft stuff. You know, I bruise quite easily. It's not a good look.
I'm sure it's not. I'm sure you look like an apple that's been thrown around in a crate.
Oh, thank you very much. And surprisingly, not the worst thing someone said to me today.
You're just round and sweet.
Very nice.
You're welcome.
Sweet on the inside, but the skin's a bit bitter.
I don't even want to know like how you know that about yourself.
Hey, I'm just describing an apple. Whether it's true or not, I could not go as far to say.
We'll leave that up to the imagination of everyone listening right now.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? If you're listening, you should
Send
write
in your drawings.
And we'll rate them on the next show.
Unfortunately, we can't get to all of them.
But the winner will be announced, and you'll get a cute little How Uncivilized badge.
Yes. How Uncivilized badge. Show it to your friends, and it'll mean nothing to them.
Oh, dear.
A
wacky way.
Did you ever get a Blue Peter badge?
No, I don't think I did you?
No, I didn't. I'm one of those terrible people who I didn't even watch Blue Peter. I don't know.
Did you not?
No. Did I even have a childhood in Britain? I didn't watch Blue Peter.
That is crazy. Blue Peter was like, here's one I made earlier.
Yeah.
That was all Blue Peter.
It was a classic. Like, one of my friends actually got a Blue Peter badge. I can't remember what they did, but yeah, I remember seeing it and being like, wow, that's amazing. I don't watch Blue Peter. And everyone around me being like, you don't watch Blue Peter?
What are you doing?
No, I just sat and watched Scooby-Doo or something. Or what did I watch? Scooby-Doo, Pokemon, all those good things.
Yeah, I watched all of those too, but I also watched Blue Peter. There
was time to watch both.
Interestingly enough, Blue Peter's like the one show for kids. But then like Matt Baker, who did Blue Peter originally, then went to the one show when he got older. Which I always found
so
quite
the
funny.
Kids from Blue Peter grew up watching him their entire life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh dear,
Yeah.
Funny times.
Good times, funny times, good times. A lot of enjoyment, a lot of good stuff going on.
Exactly. Tasty stuff.
And with that, we move on to your next question. And this was, does Chirrut use the Force to see? Which is an interesting question. Does he use the Force to see? How does he get around like someone who can see things but clearly can't actually see because he's blind? Yeah.
Exactly.
One thing I didn't realize was that Chirrut wasn't actually born blind. He was in some kind of accident, which actually resulted in him losing his eyesight. This is quite mysterious because at no point do we actually find out what happened to him for him to lose his eyesight. He even, I don't even know if Baze knew this information because this is a closely guarded secret that Chirrut tells to no one, which is very mysterious.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Well, he must keep it. So we don't know whether he was born with it or whether he.
It was definitely an accident. So it was definitely he was born being able to see and then went blind at some point. But it was the cause of the accident is unknown, which of course means he was in the shower and got shampoo in his eye. Watch out, kids! Don't get shampoo in your eye. You will be blind forever.
That's why we close our eyes fully until the water has washed it off.
Yes, make sure to thoroughly rinse your hair before opening your eyes again.
Exactly. Everything you hear about shampoo.
It's true. All of it.
Nice. that kind of scared me. I was like, what is that? I was like, Spencer, you okay?
It was very basic, wasn't it?
That was very basic. It's true. All of it. I'm old now.
I've smoked far too many Tatooine benders.
Tatooine benders. Good grief. Oh, man.
Oh, dear.
How do we blow it up? There's always a way to do that.
What is happening? Do you ever kind of take a moment to think, what choices did I make to end up in this situation? What is happening? Okay. So, yeah, we don't know how he became blind, but one thing we do know is that through his training and through dedication, he learnt to essentially be able to seem like he could see almost,
Yeah.
even though he was still blind. And while he didn't use the Force to achieve this, he would have several...
How the Force works?
Oh, that's good, man. You're on it.
I'm getting fucking good. Here we go.
Here we go. New career. A whole new...
That's it.
A whole new saga of How Uncivilized episodes featuring a soundboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, so he couldn't actually see. He didn't use the Force to see, but through his practice of the martial art Zama Zuisho, he was able to not only control his body, but become more aware of his surroundings by using the control he had over his senses to be able to almost perceive what was going on around him in a better way.
I like this guy.
But he also used little tricks, not necessarily tricks, but little things to help him. He actually, in the end of his staff that he used, he had a little kyber crystal type thing or broken bit of kyber.
Yeah.
And this would emit a kind of, it was almost like a high-pitched sound kind of thing or a high-pitched frequency.
Oh,
and
that's so cool.
He would be able to hear this. And so therefore he would always know where the end of his staff was.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's a really cool... I kind of preferred that to him just using the Force. It's like he wasn't using the Force. He just became so good and so in tune with his surroundings and was also just clever enough to come up with these little tips and tricks to help himself day to day and in combat, that he was just able to function like he hadn't lost his eyesight at all.
That's just incredible.
Yeah.
I really like him. I think he's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm liking that.
It's the thing of he kind of uses his blindness almost to his advantage. Like, for example, when him and Baze were working with the partisans, which I'll talk a bit more about later.
Ooh, tell me more.
Later, Spencer, later. So when they were working with the partisans, they actually wanted only to recruit Baze because they were like, oh, Chirrut's blind, he'll be no use to us. It was only when Baze was like, no, Chirrut comes with me, and they were like, oh, fine. And then suddenly it was like, this guy is actually really, really good at what he does.
Yeah, damn, why didn't we?
Yeah, let's keep this guy around. He's clearly a very proficient man to do things.
He knows what he's doing. He's got a good haul of things.
Yeah, so to kind of sum up that question of, no, he doesn't use the Force to see, but he allows the Force to guide him, allows it to guide his actions, and trusting it with his life, and also trusting in that his training would, help him out, because he's just a general badass,
So yeah, he doesn't actually use the Force at all. He uses his initiative basically to give him the almost like an illusion of sight.
Yes, absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's really cool. It's one of those things of, it would be cool if he could kind of use the Force, because it's always good to have Force users, but it feels like a very simple answer in comparison with the idea that it's almost very inspiring that someone who, I know is a fictional character, but someone who's blind was able to overcome his disability in such a way that he was above and beyond what he was before. And that's just a really inspiring story.
Yeah, I always feel like in a lot of these things, like and a lot of the expanded universe, the Force is used as a bit of a scapegoat for people with disabilities and stuff.
Yeah.
And for this to actually have been like not Force related in terms of his ability to see is actually really, really cool. I think it's like it's a credit to him, and it makes the universe more interesting. You know, that there are people that don't use the Force that are really cool and incredible, and he's definitely one of them.
He is indeed. He's a very cool dude, a very swish McGish.
He definitely is.
Yeah, so your next question and final question about Chirrut, but like you say, there's always overlap between him and Baze, so it's not like we're not going to bring him up again.
Oh, definitely.
It was, what is Chirrut's cool archery laser bow thing? And
yes.
You've kind of answered this already. It's all part of, it ties into his relationship with the Guardians and his role within the Guardians, because like you say, having this weapon, which is called a light bow bowcaster. So it's a similar kind of vein to the bowcaster we see Chewie use and Wookiees use. Yeah, it's a similar kind of weapon. So it's actually a handcrafted weapon, like you say, and it's all part of your process of becoming a Guardian. And one of the steps is that you build this weapon upon completion of what they call the 7th Duan, or might just be 7th Dan or something like that.
Oh.
And this marks a Guardian's progression to what they would call physical perfection. And so it was almost like a badge of honor saying that this is someone who's literally the most proficient you can be at being a Guardian. And yeah, it's just a very cool piece of kit. It's a very powerful weapon, as we see. It was able to take down a TIE fighter on Edu, which was
an amazing scene. That I loved that. That was great. The fact that he was blind and he was just sort of it's just incredible.
Oh, you idiot! You're pointing it the wrong way. Oh, what? He still managed to knock out the sky. Oh, that's incredible.
No way! Oh, he is just impressive.
Yeah. It's just a very, very cool weapon and a very powerful weapon, which he used to perfection and used very, very well. And it's just great to see. Yeah, very nice.
Oh, dear, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so that answers your question what's his cool laser bow thing, archery laser bow thing? It's just a weapon he had, but it's not just a weapon. It's more than that. It's a signature of him being a perfect specimen of a human.
Brilliant.
Him.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's
physical
pretty cool.
Perfection.
Yeah, I didn't know. Well, to be fair, Donnie Yen is physical perfection.
Yeah, I just love it that it's like, oh, if you've got this crossbow, it means you're perfect. It's like 10 out of 10.
You are a perfect man.
Yeah. You are a perfect specimen. You are just top notch.
Yep.
Thought I'd tie us back in nicely.
Nice. Okay, so we got a couple more questions here. Both of them are Baze. Both of them are Baze focused. Your first question about Baze is Baze Malbus. Who is this? Who is Baze Malbus? Well, let's find out who Baze Malbus is. Baze Malbus, he was a human male born on Jeddah in 53 BBY.
What?
Yet.
Oh, dear. Yes, he was.
Like you say, he was once a dedicated member of the Guardians of the Wills, but like you say, because of the taking over of the temple by the Galactic Empire, he kind of became disenfranchised with it, really, and gave up, essentially. He's kind of, instead of Chirrut, who was like, I believe no matter what, he was like, nah, I'm going to go, like, kill people for money. It's like, it's a swift 180
I can't be
from,
bothered
like,
anymore.
I'm a guardian here to protect the Kyber. Oh, the Kyber crystals are gone. Yeah, I'm going to shoot people for a living.
Yeah. I have dreams. I have aspirations. I'm not going to stay here all my life. I want to get off this rock and fight the river. Oh, dear.
You shoot people for fun? That's the first sign of a serial killer. That is a serial killer. So like you say, him and Chirrut were close friends from an early age, and they did everything together. Best buds, BFFs for life, all good stuff.
Oh, exactly.
Good to have a buddy in trying times.
No, it is, and their relationship is very cute, isn't it? It's quite nice.
Yeah. It's all very nice. It's all very quaint. Lovely. Yeah, so after Jeddah became an Imperial-occupied city, like I say, the Empire took control of the Temple of Kyber, which is what the actual temple was called. Pretty straightforward, just Temple of Kyber, does what it says on the tin. It's a temple, It's got Kyber in it. Good, we all know where we stand.
Winner.
Yeah, winner, chicken dinner. And like you say, without a job or occupation, Baze then became just an assassin for hire. And one of the people who hired him were the partisans.
Oh, of course. Cute little link there.
Yeah. So you mentioned it earlier that they met Saw Gerrera through the character called Baze Fortuna.
Yes.
Did you
indeed.
like how I pretended to not know who that was, even though I had researched it myself?
It's incredible, but also terrifying.
Yes, I played you. I played you like a fiddle.
You want a career in politics, Charlie? You do very well.
Nothing's real. This is all scripted. So Baze works for Saw Gerrera, and the aim was to recruit Baze to the partisans. But like I said earlier, Baze was like, where I go, Chirrut comes too. And so they were like, fine, your blind friend can come along to this war zone. And it's like, yay.
And die, probably.
Yeah. They actually agreed to do it as well on the condition that Saw would help support an orphanage that they were like part of helping. I mean, it's just one of these really wholesome things of like, oh, I can't go out this weekend. I'm binding the orphan's feet at the orphanage. It's like classic. These are good guys.
You know where you stand. They are like, the cliche of the good guy.
Yeah. Instead of being paid themselves, that's how they were paid. They were paid in supplies, which they would give to this orphanage.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah. And it's
Good
a
on
lovely,
them.
wholesome
Good on them.
cause. I mean, they
Helping
were
the
working
kiddies out.
for a terrorist group, but, we'll overlook that.
It's a means to an end.
It's always a means to an end. That's how it works.
That it does.
Yeah. So what they would do as part of the partisans is they would attack Imperial patrols, kind of like how we see in Rogue One, like Saw's people attacking Imperial patrols. That's what Chirrut and Baze would be doing as well, just kind of causing chaos, keeping the rebellion alive, really, and keeping people...
You're a rebel now.
Oh, it's so good. But ironically, because they were attacking in the Empire and stuff, the Empire wasn't really concerned with friendly fire. So because they attacked, the Empire would attack back. And they actually created more orphans in the process of fighting for the partisans, which is... That's depressing.
Okay.
And so...
What idiots.
Yep, that kind of backfired on them. So that meant the orphanage would need more supplies, but Saw was like, I'm not paying you that much, because Saw is a great character, as we've established prior.
Oh, Saw.
Yeah. So instead, they made a plan with Saw that they would actually steal an Imperial Sentinel ship, and the plan was that... they would put all these orphans on the ship and get them to escape to be orphans on another planet. I feel like it wasn't very well thought through. But I guess getting out of a war zone is a good priority for them.
Exactly.
Really. Yeah.
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
Oh, man.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Oh, well.
So, yeah, they made a deal with Saw to steal this Imperial Sentinel ship, but this plan was Yeah, it went a bit awry, however, because Baze, Fortuna, and 2 other partisan members, they actually betrayed Chirrut and Baze and attempted to steal the ship for themselves as a means for them to escape instead of all these orphan kiddies, which that's not a good look for those guys.
Wait, they wanted to escape?
Yeah, apparently so.
Well, there you go.
There you have it.
Damn.
Yeah. Learn something new every day.
So they're just like, they weren't real rebels. They were just, they just wanted to just get out of there.
Yeah.
On for the ride,
Their original plan was to escape, but then that didn't work out for some reason. So then Baze, Fortuna, and his 2 guys changed their plan and were like, okay, instead, we're going to use this ship to blow up the Star Destroyer, which hangs over Jeddah City. They were just going to fill it with explosives and drive it into the Star Destroyer. And
oh, my word.
Yeah, so it's like 0 to 10 with
the
these
orphans
guys.
in it?
No, not with the orphans in it.
I was going to say, that's insane.
Yeah, they'd let them get out before sending a thing to explode. Yeah. But
oh, my word.
Yeah. Chirrut managed to stop this, however, because he essentially said to them, it's not going to help you to blow up that Star Destroyer. All it will mean is that a Star Destroyer comes crashing down upon Jeddah City, and then next week there'll be a new Star Destroyer to fill its place. Again,
exactly.
Not very well thought through as a plan. And so...
God, he's awful.
Yeah, Chirrut said to them, it would be much more helpful to the partisans' cause if they were to just actually do what they were planning on doing and save the orphans and send them off to somewhere safer.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah. And so Baze was just like,
This deal is getting worse all the time.
Yeah. Baze surrendered the ship to them, and Chirrut and Baze put all the orphans on, sent them off into space, probably to, die horribly in the vacuum of space. I mean, maybe they didn't. Maybe they had a bigger plan than that to send them somewhere specific.
Let's hope that was
so.
An actual thing, because just sending them into the vacuum of space somehow seems
I
worse.
set you free. Be free, children. None of us can drive.
But now you're free of your own accord to do whatever you feel.
Yeah. So as you can probably understand, this was the end of their working relationship with Saw. After this point, they were like, we're not working with you. You're terrible. And Saw was like, fair enough.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so from this point onwards, Baze and Chirrut, they no longer trusted the partisans. And yeah, next time they were together was when they were captured by them and taken to Saw's with Jin. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Round to Saw's for a bit of food, bit of catch up.
I think this kind of, for me, made me understand why they just threw them straight in jail as well, because it's the kind of thing of, oh, you've worked with us once, you're not with us anymore. So it's like, if you're not with me, then you're against me.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have that one? Is that one there somewhere?
No.
Ah, God.
So terrible, isn't it?
Of all the ones they could have picked, they don't pick any of the ones which are actually like good.
But instead, I can give you this one.
You're shorter than I expected.
Kind of works.
Oh dear. Or even this one, just for.
He doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
There we go. Waiting for the very long pause.
As per usual.
He doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
So suspenseful.
Oh, man.
Dear.
Yeah. That brings us on to your final question that we have here.
Do tell.
Is, what is that gun Baze uses? So
Yeah, I really want to know.
yeah, the question is, what is that gun that Baze uses? So it is a heavy repeater cannon, which is, a pretty hefty piece of kit. It's essentially a large blaster. you can probably gather from that description.
Yeah.
This one in particular was called the MWC-35C, and it was dubbed the Staccato Lightning Repeater Cannon, which that's a pretty cool
Staccato?
game. Yeah, Staccato Lightning.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
Staccato lightning. That's great.
Yeah, it
That
was
is brilliant.
It was powered by a condensed K-grade conductor cell, and a fair few of these actually, and that was cooled by the tank that you see Baze carrying almost like as a backpack. So that's what that was. That was actually
I've always
carrying,
wondered, actually. Yeah.
carrying liquid that would cool the weapon so it didn't overheat in your hand, essentially.
That is awesome. I was
Yeah.
wondering what that was for. I thought it was just for ammunition originally.
No. But
Cool.
this bit, which I thought was cool, is that at full charge, because you would charge this weapon, it had the capacity to fire 35,000 rounds, which is an insane number.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. You'd never run out, really.
Yeah, essentially, like, it's the kind of thing you could put that on charge for a few hours every night and never run out of lasers ever again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
So it had two modes of firing. There was a rapid fire mode as well as a like power shot. And so what this essentially was it was kind of if you imagine like a kind of, I suppose the equivalent on Earth is like a kind of AK-47 style mode and then like a shotgun style mode. I don't really know guns. Is that accurate?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah. This weapon was particularly good at sniping, so it was very good at long range, but also it was good at short range as well, because of course you had the heavy power mode, which is
of
very
course.
useful. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's very, very cool.
I wanted to know about his little gun, see where that came from, because I hadn't seen anything like that in the Star Wars universe, really.
Yeah. So it kind of, how it worked was it had like a small targeting array, and it took into account the actual position the user was facing, and it would group the shots into bursts to maximize hits on specific targets.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So that was the first mode of like the rapid fire mode. It would actually help you focus your fire onto a certain target instead of it like naturally just recoiling everywhere and it being chaos. And then in the secondary mode, which is like the shotgun mode, what it did was it actually like collected the shots into one single like ball of energy, and then
just fired that out.
Yeah, this would be primed using like the 4-guard pump action shotgun style thing, and then it would just
obliterate
whatever it was in front of it.
I imagine it would.
Yeah.
So
So it's just a very insane bit of kit, really, just a hefty weapon. But
so this must be of the spraying then. This one.
What was that? Was that like a group of starlings or something?
It could have been, couldn't it? With a bit of a bass drone.
Why are
going
those
on as well.
starlings getting put in a lawnmower?
Oh dear. No animals were hurt in the making of this film.
Yeah. But one thing I did think when I was researching this is that I couldn't help but think that like this weapon is tailor-made for like Star Wars Battlefront. Like I can just imagine them being like, let's design this weapon with two features like rapid fire, shotgun mode. They're going to absolutely love this for Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they'll definitely bring it out soon, I imagine, in another update. Play as Baze. I'd love it if you could play as Chirrut, but I just feel like
that would be very fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just running around with your stick and your longbow.
Just being a big old ninja. Yeah, that'd be sick.
And that's all I got on Baze and Chirrut. You went into the broad scopes of the characters, and I kind of chipped in with some little details. So I hope that's satisfied you, good sir.
Yes, it has. I love that one. That one's one of my favorite ones. Oh, dear.
Man.
Yeah, definitely satisfied me. Yeah,
Good.
I'm glad to hear.
I'm glad.
You know, I'm so damn satisfied. Ever wondered what a tauntaun sounds like?
Is that you being satisfied? Actually,
that is.
Don't answer that.
No, this is me being satisfied. Oh, dear.
Oh man.
And this is you being satisfied.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Oh man. Well, this has been absolute chaos.
Yeah, this has been a mess. But yeah, thanks for joining us here on yes, what will now be episode 8. We hope you've enjoyed these last few episodes on Baze and Chirrut. Mm-hmm. We hope you've enjoyed the soundboard.
Yeah, I mean, mixed response, but we'll see.
I think it was quite hit and miss. You know, there was good stuff, there was bad stuff.
Well, you know, this is a hit and miss podcast, so I think it suits us very well.
It certainly does.
Just a squelch to finish. Like most of our episodes, it ends with a squelch.
Exactly. So, do you know what? It goes without saying that we should just say
Hello there.
Oh wait, no, wrong one. Sorry. Goodbye.
Oh,
goodbye.
There we go.
There we go. Again.
Nailed
it. Nailed it.
Goodbye there. Good grief.
Goodbye there. Thank you.
Goodbye there.
Yes. Thanks for listening to episode 8. We hope you enjoyed our in-depth analysis of Chirrut and Baze. Keep an eye out for more episodes coming soon.
If you're looking to follow us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit. We're also on YouTube, where you can find all of our content, including every podcast episode so far, as well as our playthrough of LEGO Star Wars. The How Uncivilized Podcast was created, produced, and edited by Charlie Light Bobo Caster Feasby and Spencer Staccato Lightning Lawrence.